Good morning, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the case before us is a simple one. It is a flagrant violation not only of HIPAA, but of the protected health information of patients. The defendant, along with the contracted organization, directly violated this information via the patient list and diagnosis codes that were sent to their off-site research organization. The first violation that came from this that would negate their exemption waiver is the fact that the physician's office, as well as the research organization, were using PHI that was not congruent with the submitted information to the Institutional Review Board. We know that any information submitted to the IRB must be in tangent with the research that you are conducting. And we see that the documents submitted for research and the actions they took do not coincide with one another, which would negate their exemption waiver under the IRB. While the topic of research they were conducting may very well have granted them this exemption status, not only to contact the patients, but to be given access to their information, which would allow them the opportunity to conduct further research and make any further protocols and necessary steps in order to conduct and finish this. But by submitting information that was in fact false compared to what they were doing, negates not only the exemption status of the physician, but of the organization as well. The next portion that the physician and the organization went on to state that their actions would be covered was that all steps taken were preparatory to research and therefore should be permitted. We know this not to be true, as any information that falls under the preparatory research standard, it has to meet certain criteria. These criteria involve that any disclosure of information is for the sole purpose of preparing research protocols, which does not require the contacting of patients, as they would have the specified information, codes, and diagnoses to perform this. Next, the information should never be removed from the covered entity. While the organization is in fact covered, we cannot be certain that when the information was transmitted from the physician's office to this off-site research organization, that any information was not leaked or breached or stolen via paper or electronic means. And finally, any and all information requested needs to be vital for the conducted research. This is the most damaging of evidence to their cause, as what was stated by the IRB, the approved disclosure that they did have, was not consistent with their submitted documentation. We can plainly see that this physician and the organization are gathering unnecessary information under the guise of being protected under not only of the IRB, but as well as preparatory to research, when in fact they were not conducting the research that they had gained official approval for, and therefore any legally protected status should be revoked. Thank you.